And welcome back to Money Mind. Would you pay a few $100s for a bottle of wine that won't even be delivered until a few years' time? Well, if your answer is no, you might just want to reconsider. Investing in fine wine, if done the right way, could really bring you to a real high. Money Mind's Tan Ping Ping has more.
There is an old Spanish saying, good wine ruins the purse. But for the savvy few who can resist popping the cork, a bottle of fine wine could well be money in the purse, as what this technopreneur turned wine investor would tell you. A wine lover, 32-year-old Tan Ching Teck decided to turn his passion into a business venture 2 years ago, when he set up a wine investment consultancy company specializing in Bordeaux fine wine.
I've been drinking wines for quite a while, and every time I go and buy a bottle of wine in the shop, it seems that the prices keep increasing. So I thought to myself, hey, maybe wine's a good good investment. And I started about 3 years ago buying wines purely for investment. The first case I bought for purely for investment was a 2000 Chateau Margaux, and since I bought it in 2001, it's increased almost 100% already.
And chances are the price of Tan's Chateau Margaux will probably keep rising. That's because fine wine, once bottled, mature and improve with age. Take the 1990 Cheval Blanc, for instance. A case would have set you back by £400 15 years ago. Today, the very same case is fetching a price of approximately £4,500. Indeed, the returns from wine can be intoxicating, so to speak. But before you get all lightheaded, bear in mind, not all wines appreciate in value. For first-time wine investor, Tan's advice is go for wines produced only from the top chateaux or vineyards in Bordeaux, as they usually have a large resale market. Also, you probably can't go very wrong if you follow the recommendations of the top wine critics. One of the most renowned is undoubtedly American journalist Robert Parker Jr. Anything rated above 80 by him should be a pretty good buy. That is, if you can get them.
First of all, it's not all wines that make good wine investments. There's only a very selected number of wines that are good investment grade or asset class wines. What we consider asset class wines are basically first growth wines from Bordeaux, from places like Chateau Margaux, Chateau Latour, and also only the top vintages. So, vintages like 1982, 1986, 1990, and, the year 2000. The production quantity is very, very, very limited, and there's an increasing global demand for these wines.
The reason for the limited supply of investment wine from Bordeaux goes back a long, long way, when Napoleon drew up strict zoning laws which limits the size of the top vineyards or first-growth chateaux. That law has remained to this day, and that is why today the top chateaux in Bordeaux produce only a fixed and limited amount of wine every vintage. Increasingly, more and more people are starting to see wine as a form of alternative investment, and it's not just because of its potential huge returns. History has shown that wine investments tend to be less volatile than stocks over a long period of time. Besides, even if you make a wrong investment decision, at the very least, you will still have a bottle of fine wine to drink at the end of the day.
And with that, we've come to the end of this week's edition of Money Mind. Do join us again next week for more tips on investments and wealth management. I'm Elvin Yong. Have a great week ahead.
Channel News Asia, a network of MediaCorp News.